All right, hey everyone, coming at you with question number 13 answered. This one is a very popular one we get often. I am using my VA loan. That means I have nothing out of pocket, right, when buying a home. So, you are somewhat correct. What the misunderstanding and the myth behind this question often that we see, and once we kind of sit down and start talking with the buyers, what we realize that the miscommunication is with this one is a VA loan offers a zero down payment, right? So you don't have to put anything down, whereas like with FHA, you put 3.5, or conventional, you can do 3, 5, 10, 15, 20. There's a lot of different down payment options. A VA loan requires nothing down. However, like we discussed a couple of videos ago, if you are a VA buyer, you still have closing costs. Remember, closing costs are the fees associated with getting your loan to the closing table. There are state mandated fees, there are fees that go to the city, to the state, loan fees. So you as a buyer, even though you have this incredible loan option, putting zero down, you still have closing costs, right? So we still have to prorate the taxes between you and the seller. There's going to be deed stamps. There's going to be transfer taxes. There's going to be, if you're doing a VA loan, you're getting a loan. So there's going to be loan associated costs, underwriting costs. All of these things are what add up and give you your closing cost total. Remember, like we said a couple videos ago, on average, based on where you're buying and your sales price, these costs are going to run you about 2 to 5%. Now, it's also important to notice what we get here a lot in our area is that VA buyers want to ask for closing costs from the seller. And while this sometimes is very doable for sellers, we want to point out that the sellers also have closing costs. So the sellers actually have more closing costs than you as a buyer. So for instance, again, if you're a VA buyer, you're putting no money down, you will have approximately, in our area, we see about 3.5% for VA buyers on closing costs. A seller not only has their closing costs, so their proration of taxes, recording fees, transfer fees, a lot of things like that, title fees. So remember, they're paying for the closing attorney and the title fees, the title search, and all of these fees that go into selling a home they have on top of the real estate agent commissions. So on average, we actually see for sellers the closing costs be about 9%. So it's really important for you to remember when you are putting together an offer, really deciding if asking for that closing cost is something that you need if you are a VA buyer, because then if you ask for them and say, again, going back to that on average about 3.5% here in our market area, then on top you're actually asking them to pay in total about 13% in closing costs, commissions, and additional closing fees. So it definitely adds up, and it is definitely a lot. So that is a kind of a myth that we think people have often, or really a misunderstanding. They just are not fully aware of the costs involved with selling a home, so they often think that the seller can just fork out and pay for their closing as well, which sometimes it can be done, but not always. So a quick recap. Yes, as a VA buyer, you have no money down, so you essentially do not have a down payment. Your only costs associated with buying a home are the outside contract expenses that I went over a couple videos ago, and then your closing costs. I hope that helps you VA buyers better understand the cost associated with purchasing a home. That is question number 13.